fans, for the players, for all the news. Firebirds Weekly. This week's guest is Brandon Nicholson.
Here now the give and the run, and he's in for a touchdown. In for a touchdown, Coach.
And that's what I was anticipating.
Yeah.
You know, a run here.
Trayvon Shorts. His third touchdown of the season. He was helped from behind by Brandon Nicholson. Second rush of the game is all.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 16 of Firebirds Weekly. We are live here at Poppy's Pizza in Schenectady. Thankfully, thanks to them for their hospitality. They've been amazing to us. And we are excited to be joined tonight by 2025 AF1 champion and the author of that touchdown by Trayvon Shorts, Brandon Nicholson. Brandon, how are we doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We definitely had to come up with a big man highlight. I know they're hard to come by. So, yeah, nice hustle play. Got your guy home. Nice work.
Yes, sir.
That shows up on film. I'm sure you guys watched and that was pointed out, wasn't it?
Definitely.
No.
So, talk about, the game against Washington, 42-34, you guys, get it done, stay undefeated at 4-0. Definitely had to fight for it. Just talk about going out west again for the third week in a row, kind of out away from Albany, and coming home, with that zero still on the right side of the ledger.
It's always a good thing when you can go away from home and still come home with a W. Obviously, going up 14-0 right away, you kind of thought that was going to be a different game, different outcome.
Yep.
But, Washington fought hard. It was a team that if you let stay around, they're good enough to squeak out and win at the end. But that just shows how hard we work, how we believe in each other, how we persevere through adversity to be able to stay on top and come out with that W.
So what was the mood, like you said, you went up 14-15 right out of the gate, early on, from a spectator standpoint, it certainly looked like it may get away pretty quickly for Washington. Once you hit that little bit of adversity, it feels like the championship DNA came out a little bit.
Oh, definitely. I believe we were 14-0. They had scored a touchdown, and you kind of felt like a sense of belief from Washington. You can feel it in the air. Coach Ware always used to tell us, squeeze that out of the air, take that away. So that's the goal. Obviously, we didn't execute like we wanted to in the beginning, but, we fight through that all the time. That championship DNA is always something you need in those moments.
Right, for sure.
What, tell me, you guys go in and it's tied at half, talk about, what you guys talked about in terms of, some adjustments and things like that on your guys' side. And what did Coach Ware kind of talk about at halftime?
Not really too many adjustments, more so just execution on our side. The things we were running were open. They were all there in the first half.
Yeah, really open.
Yeah, we just needed to
Yeah.
do our part, and each player needed to do what they want so we can get the job done.
Second half, you guys have been a second half team all year, and was the kind of that last year during the championship run. Just talk about coming out in the second half, and I think it was like a 2-play drive or something like that, and DB was wide open on that first play. Just talk about being able to come out in the second half and immediately put up 7, and did that kind of calm you guys down, or just kind of okay, let's do our thing, we're gonna be fine?
You always have that reassurance, knowing that we can play at a high level for 4 quarters. I won't necessarily say that it's always that we're a second half team. I think a lot of teams just give us their championship game in the first half. So it's all about just weathering that storm and seeing if they can play 4 quarters like we can play 4 quarters.
No, I agree. Even with some of the coaching experience that I've had in my past, usually get it till halftime, especially as soon as you hit a little bit of momentum. That's usually when they kind of start to realize that maybe this isn't our day. But Washington certainly didn't fold under pressure. Did that surprise you a little bit? I mean, I know everyone is a professional, everyone's getting paid, but did that kind of catch you off guard? I mean, not that anybody's going to quit. I'm not saying they should have or needed to, but
I wouldn't say it caught me off guard. I kind of knew they were going to come out hungry, especially after the outcome of the other 2 games they had.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough for them.
Yeah, so like even within the game, like going against the players, you can hear them talking to themselves. You can feel that they had confidence that they could actually pull the win out. So I wasn't surprised at all, but I would say I was more so surprised that we didn't execute at a greater rate during the game.
Now, when you say didn't execute, are you meaning like missing assignments or not completing passes, things of that nature, or is it just kind of the whole Rolodex, so to speak?
Just the whole road deck, all phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. We could have all did something better in that first half to put ourselves in a better position in that game.
Well, I mean, you look at it, from a play disparity. I think it was 46-48. So, obviously
It's like 46-28, I think, in plays. So you guys didn't get a chance to run a lot of plays on offense at all.
Not at all. And going off from the beginning of the year, it kind of seemed like that's the theme from each team, trying to hold the ball as long as possible so we can't put as much points up on the board. So, I mean, that's also a testament to our defense because our defense stops a lot of people. They're on the field for a long time. They make people work to score. So, I mean, it's a pro and a con to it, but when we do get the ball, we do have to put it in the end zone.
Yeah.
I want to, get to the end. It's 4th down. The game on the line. You're sitting on the sideline. Okay, what's going to happen? Tell me what's going through your mind on that play, and then seeing Kadir make the stop there to shut the door.
It's one of those things like, we've been in those moments before. While you're sitting there, you don't have any thought in your mind that you're going to lose. It's one of those things that you're like, I know something's going to happen. We're going to make a play. Like you just have full 100% faith in your defense.
It feels like almost kind of similar to the Salina game last year.
Yeah.
Where it was this like, okay, they kept hanging around, and then eventually got to overtime. That was, now being able to sit here and think about that, that idea, was that kind of a similar thing of like, okay, got to put them away. And finally, obviously, last year you were able to in overtime. This one was the stop by Kadir.
Oh yeah, it's always exciting. You can just tell Coach always says we're always prepared to play 5 quarters, and that's always a real thing. He wants us to be the most conditioned team in the league, and he certainly shows us that in practice. But I mean, as players too, though, we all want the big play. We all want the big moment. You might not always talk about it, but when it's there, you have to seize it. And it seems like Albany is good at recruiting players who seize the big moment.
I got 2 points to make. One, I think you guys would have won it in regulation anyway.
Yes.
Secondly, speaking of guys being in shape, Drew Singleton, what a season he's having, huh?
A very good season.
Yeah.
40 tackles in 4 games.
Yeah. 2 picks, I think a sack or 2. So, yeah, he's the early bet in favor for Defensive Player of the Year in my book.
And Drew is definitely one of those guys that works very hard.
Yeah.
Like when you talk to him and you listen to his story and you know what he's done, he deserves everything that's coming towards him.
Yeah.
Offensively, obviously it must have been obviously a little bit of a shot, like, okay, Sam, getting ready for the season, and then Sam gets the opportunity to go to the UFL. Just talk a little bit about that on an offensive line thing, because, obviously Josh is extremely talented and a great quarterback and has led you guys to 4 wins, but each guy's different. What was it like in terms of like, okay, now we've got Josh, how is that gonna, take us forward?
We believed in the coaches. We believed in Josh himself, that the coaches made the right decision. For Sam, it was one of those things where you're like very excited for him, but you're at the same time, you're like, okay, so what does this look like at our quarterback position now?
Sure. I think that's a natural and fair question, regardless of who's the second, the guy that was number 2 in the depth chart. That's a normal thing. Certainly, Josh has proven pretty quickly that he can get the job done.
Very much so. And he always had that confidence about him, even from camp. He took the position head on, and he hasn't looked back yet.
Yep.
So, this week, undefeated matchup, 4-0 Albany versus 3-0 Kentucky. Going to face a couple of guys that you're very familiar with and saw every day in practice last year in Zeke Rose. Tell me about, getting ready for that game this week and, obviously the hype up is for us, but it's got to be a little bit for you guys too. Obviously in the locker room, on the field, that kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. Whenever you get a chance to go against people you've won a championship with or played on the same team with for a whole season, it's always a little bit more animosity or a little bit more energy or hype towards the game. Obviously, with Zeke being a defensive lineman, we have to handle our business, and I'm sure he feels the same.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no doubt.
But it should be very exciting. We're ready mentally, physically. We always prepare the right way. Coach will make sure we prepare the right way. So it should be a fun weekend.
So before we get into like your background and your story, you've been on the road for basically a month. You haven't had a home game in basically a month. How much are you looking forward to getting back in front of the Albany fans this weekend?
Very much so.
The home cooking of the MVP arena.
We are very excited for a home game. If we could, I'm sure we'd have every game at home if we were allowed to.
Yep.
It's nothing like playing in front of these fans.
Also, announced on Wednesday at the Flock U here on Wednesday here at Poppy's Pizza. The banner, they're going to do a banner reveal and have that at halftime. As a member of that championship team last year, and again, obviously guys have come and gone, guys are hurt, this and that, anything. What is it going to feel like for you at halftime? To it's kind of weird doing it at half. I hope they kind of wish they'd done it at the beginning of the game. But what does that mean to you to be able to see that banner go up there for last year's title?
Oh, very exciting. It just shows all the hard work we put in, that if you buy in and trust the process, you can come out on the other side of it. Last year, we fought through a decent amount of adversity throughout the season. And it just shows how we persevered, and that just shows all the hard work that we put in throughout the year.
So I have one more question for you. We've had Coach Ware on at the end of the year last year, and we were asking about ring designs. Are they in? And secondly, do you know what they look like?
I do not know.
Okay, no, let's keep that a secret anyway.
Yeah, we'll reveal that later.
Yep.
I'm excited for this game, and I think it's going to be a hell of a game between the Firebirds and the Barrels. But I want to let's talk about you. This is so much about you today. You're an Ohio guy. Tell me a little bit about growing up and how you got into football in the first place.
For me, growing up, my father was into football growing up. My uncle was a football coach growing up. My cousins played football, so I had a lot of people to look up to that kind of pushed me in that direction. I started playing football when I was 8 years old, and to believe it or not, I wanted to quit. It's not how it looks on the video games where you can just run and not lose stamina.
Right.
My first year of football was pretty rough. Just getting used to the exercise and stuff like that. But my dad said, I'm not going to let you quit in the middle of the year. You got to finish it out. If you don't want to play next year, you don't have to. But once I finished it, I always wanted to play year after year after. I kind of just found a love for the game.
So when you first started, where was your first position?
Offensive line.
Of course. Yeah.
See, usually it's like you're a little bit bigger than the other, so they'll have you be the star running back when you're like and Pop Warner like football. Nope, this guy's like offensive line. That's it.
Straight. I started out playing center and defensive line. Probably my only time playing defense. It was fun, but you're bigger than other kids. They kind of just put you
right. Did you or have you snapped the ball at all since then, or do it all in high school or college or anything like that?
I played a little bit of center in college.
Yeah.
I always try to be ready in practice just in case something was to happen. We need somebody to go in.
I'm gonna guess you didn't volunteer to play center. It's
not
brutal.
I was gonna say, I think you played center.
Yeah.
See, I could play all four of the other. I couldn't snap. Couldn't do it. I don't know. Don't ask. But I could play tackle, guard, not center.
No,
Center was different.
It's hard. It's the quarterback of the offensive line or the middle linebacker of the offensive line, whatever idiom you want to use. It's not easy.
No,
Definitely tough.
A lot of pressure on you.
I give props to Kobe every day. Every day.
Oh, well, okay. We're gonna put a pause on the Brandon Nicholson story. I wanted to ask about that too. Talk about the camaraderie and with your offensive line. More than anything else, the offensive line has to have that continuity and that together. And you guys, the three of you, Colby, Zachar, and you, all together again. Tell me how much that plays into everything that happens on the offensive line.
It plays into a lot. We always say the offensive line is always individuals, but we all play as one. We're very close. Like, those are my family. I would do anything for those two guys. It's always a good thing being able to come back and play with them as well. You just having the same guys from last year. We just building more continuity. We're getting closer than we were before. And it's just about getting better each and every week. And it's easy when you got guys around you that you like to play with.
All right, I like it. All right, unpause the family story. So you started playing when you were like elementary school age. When did you like talk about playing and getting into high school? Like, was it something where you started playing and it was like you were always the best player at your position, or tell me a little bit about the story of playing when you were in school, like high school?
I like to say I really didn't get decent at football maybe until my junior year. My freshman and sophomore year, I was bigger than a lot of kids, but you have a lot of baby fat and stuff on you. I had to grow into my athleticism a little bit, but I also had a head coach that believed in me, worked with me year in, year out. And one summer I came to my junior year and everything kind of just started to click for me. Things started to make sense. My athleticism started to get better. The game started to slow down for me mentally.
Yeah.
So that's also just part of the process though as well.
Well, you kind of answered the question I was going to ask. Is what clicked? Obviously, it's the game making sense, and for you, what allowed you for that to happen? Was it just kind of having kind of the same surrounding members on the team, the previous 2 years, or is it a combination of things?
I think for me it was more so having the game slow down mentally so you can just play as fast as possible. You practice things, and sometimes even though you practice, it's not always second nature. So the more reps, the more football you play, the game kind of slowed down mentally. So I was just able to play at a faster pace.
Gotcha.
So you go through your high school stuff, and what was the key to being like, I'm going to go play at the next level in college, and how did you decide where you wanted to go, and take me through the recruiting process?
For me, early on, I didn't really know if football was the next step for me. I love football, but like I said, I wasn't really good at football, so I didn't really know if I had what it takes to play at the next level. But when I did become a junior and I started to get some looks, the recruiting process was really light for me. I really didn't have too many looks, a couple D2s, a couple NAIA schools, but Notre Dame was really the school that took the leap of faith on me in the recruiting process.
So I'm going to ask you a question that popped up. I
just said it. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's all right.
I saw you saw that.
So the question came in from a teammate of yours. What is your 40 time from Mr. Nell?
Henry Nell.
Right now?
I would say give the best number possible. How's that?
527.
There we go, 527.
Fastest 42.
That's pretty good.
It takes a little bit to get 305 moving. I will say that. As a former 305, it takes a while to get it moving. So you go to Notre Dame College in Ohio. How often did you get people that didn't really know? They were like, "Oh, they're happy for you," and they hear Notre Dame, and they immediately think Fighting Irish and Touchdown Jesus and all that, and you go, "Well, yeah, no."
It happened all the time. Everybody, after a while, I kind of just let people go with it. The real Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's easier than explaining it, just like the spelling of my last name. After a while, it's like, yeah, I went to Notre Dame. Yep, I get it.
That's it. Yep.
It's just
yep. Look at all that green. Look at all that green. You guys were the Falcons, though. You guys were blue. But at the same time, the football was pretty good, and you were pretty good at it. In your first year playing, you redshirted your first year, but after that, you guys set a rushing record. And you led the offense to those kind of marks. And then in 2018, you guys ranked 6th in Division II in rushing stats, and you earned an honorable mention for All-American status. So talk about just going from like, hey, I don't know what it's going to be, like I got a couple looks here and there, whatever, and then literally within 2 years, like you're knocking on the door of the All-American in Division II, some of the best players in the country.
It was really the coaching staff in Notre Dame. When we first got there, they we had this motto called trust the process. If you trust the process, you might not always get the outcome you want, but you'll learn some within that process. And I just trusted the process. My coach worked with me for days and days and days and days and days on just small little things, first steps, what to look for, film. And like in high school, after my junior year, it kind of just clicked for me. The game just slowed down at another level for me when I got to college. And I was able to play faster. I was able to learn faster. I was able to apply what I was learning faster. And I kind of think that was the gap that helped me to become the player that I was.
Just to finish off the Henry thing, he says we the same. So apparently his fast was a 5.27 also.
Love you, Henry.
Just to put it out there, I guess.
But shouldn't that be in metric time?
Right. Yes. It's got to be. Wait, maybe he's a little faster because it's meters versus whatever. We'll talk to Henry about that later. But yeah. So one of the other stats I saw too from some of the college stuff was that you guys really prided yourselves in not giving up sacks. So there's a couple of questions for that. The one is, talk about, kind of priding yourself on that. And then secondly, which one do you personally go for more? Is it about the holding off guy from sacking the quarterback or being able to pancake a guy in a run? Like, what's your favorite? If you're like, this is the thing I want to do the most.
I've always played left tackle. I probably played left tackle from my sophomore year of high school all the way to my end of my year of college. So protecting the quarterback is kind of what I love to do. It's kind of my go-to, what I've been taught to do.
Well, you know what the other thing is too is like when somebody looks at your tape, it's like, yeah, great. I used to get film.
You're on the island out there too.
Well, the other thing is too is if you're just sending coaches pancake blocks, it's like, okay, what the hell happened the last 95% of the snaps? You know what I'm saying? Like a pancake.
Well, okay, I guess we're not doing it through you. Geez.
But here's the thing: if you're doing pancakes, chances are the guy was off balance anyway, right?
Sure.
So I think in terms of being consistent and actually being marketable, for lack of a better phrase, protecting the quarterback it's where it's at. But of course, pancakes are fun, but protecting the quarterback's what gets you to where you want to go.
Definitely, I agree.
And like I said, you're on an island out there, so it's like maybe you can hide yourself a little bit if you're in right guard or something. You can hide yourself a little bit, but when you're in left tackle, and because obviously most quarterbacks are right-handed, like you're the guy.
Definitely.
Those are the guys that get paid those millions in the NFL.
I try not to. Every O-line position has something that's harder to do.
That is fair.
That is true.
Look at center. Guard could be lost a lot of times. Not sure if it go to right, left, who's switching, who's hooking around, all that stuff. So guard's not easy either. They all have their challenges.
And they get the car crash on a pole. So,
yeah.
But that's more of the outdoor game, of course.
Yeah.
So you go through 18, 19, and I mean, again, just looking at the numbers and doing the homework and that, you had to have some damn good running backs behind you.
Very much so.
Talk about those guys. We'll let you hype up some of your teammates from school.
So first getting into college, my running back was DJ Green. Phenomenal guy. DJ was maybe like 6 foot, like 225, 230, but he ran a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a Mack truck. And then going into my junior year, we had a kid named Jaleel McLaughlin. He's currently in the NFL right now. He plays for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I know exactly who he is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's probably the fastest kid I've ever seen with a football.
Yeah.
He kind of just came to Notre Dame and shattered everything, and it was just easy to block for him because he just outran everybody.
Right.
It makes you guys look good.
Very much so.
And then you get to 2020, and like it did for all of us, COVID screws everything up. Tell me a little bit about you're getting to kind of the end of the college, and then everything shuts down. Got a chance to play a little bit, in a shortened season and that like that. But how did COVID screw you up? Not only obviously football wise, but just like you're not that far from home, so maybe it's a little easier because you weren't that far from home. But just tell me how that kind of changed everything for you.
It was a little weird because right before COVID, I was about to graduate. I was graduating, so my mind was already set on getting ready to train for the draft and things of that nature. And then COVID happened, and it kind of just shut everything down. And the question came back: do you want to come back for another year? Because of the COVID thing, the NCAA gave a lot of players back another year for eligibility.
Yep.
So it kind of just shifted my mindset. Like, well, should I go back another year? Should I try to go to the draft? And at the time, talking to my family and to my coaches and the people that I care about, I felt like going back for another year was probably the best case scenario for me, just to try to get another year of film and show that I can play at a higher level. But it also, there's thousands of other players who went back for another year too. So like, getting drafted in the next draft class was just really tough with the amount of people in the pool.
Right, because I mean, it obviously literally doubled overnight. Because everybody that was moving up that were a year behind that, and then all you guys get the extra year.
And then the NFL cut down the roster spots as well. So like it's just a double whammy.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing that we can talk about another time. But like the NFL really has to increase. I know it comes with a cost, but the NFL really needs to increase the number of bodies on those teams after 17 games, 1 bye week.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like you get 90 to start in the preseason. You got to cut down to 53.
Yeah,
and trying to do that for 18 weeks, like.
Well, not only that, you have like another 7 to 9 that doesn't dress either. So you're only playing with 40 something guys.
Right.
And there's 22 spots in a high injury rate sport. But anyway,
we'll get off our soapboxes for that. And then as a senior, you come back in 21. Another great season. All Atlantic region, all MEC first team, and then. My favorite stat in all the stuff we researched: 2nd consecutive season and not allowing a sack.
Yes, sir.
That's a pat on the back, my friend.
That's definitely an attaboy.
It's one of those things we just try to pride ourselves on. We had a very good quarterback, so we just try to make him as comfortable as possible at all times.
And then so you mentioned obviously the draft pool was twice as big. Tell me about your preparation to get ready for the draft or to get ready for whatever opportunities. Did you have a pro day, that kind of stuff? What were you able to do in terms of that?
So I trained with Dale Riddick. He was a trainer in Avon, Ohio. It's T3 Performance. I know some people might have heard of it. I had a pro day at Youngstown State.
See, Youngstown is coming through a lot of these different things because we had Dwayne on or Darian Townsend is Youngstown.
Yeah, but Dwayne did his
pro day there. Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, I mean Ohio is no slouch when it comes to football. I guess when we had Darian on, based on our research, it seems like Youngstown State is a big time smaller school. So that doesn't surprise me that you're able to do the pro day there.
And it's the with the FCS or the FCS.
Yep.
That Division 1 AA. I hate calling it the other one because I always mess it up. So I like Division 1 AA, but the small school, mid-major, for lack of a better term, is a big place. And obviously, you're not that far from there. Being an Ohio guy, that's not that far from where you are.
About 45 minutes.
Yeah. So tell me about your pro day and how it went and all the stuff involved.
For my pro day, I suffered a quad injury, so I didn't run. But I just did the bench press test, and I still went and supported my other guys.
How many reps did you end up with?
26.
That's ridiculous. I don't think I could lift 2 milk jugs 26 times. Are you kidding? So, but was it one of those things where it's like, oh, you couldn't do the run, you couldn't do some of the stuff because of the quad, but hey, let me try to impress as much as I can and show my strength and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because going into it, I was going to try to perform. So I went there and tried to warm up, but after warming up, I just knew I wasn't going to be able to. So I just stayed there and supported the other guys that was there. Talked to a couple coaches. They asked me what was wrong, and that was about it.
And then you go through obviously draft comes and goes. Tell me about continuing to try to stay in football. Like what was the plan at that point? Like what was next for you?
To be honest, I really didn't have one. It was one of those things that I kind of didn't know which direction to go into. I didn't have too much knowledge about the indoor game at the time. So I was out of football for 2 years. I didn't play in 22 or 23. And then in 24, I went to the IFL for the Tucson Sugar Skulls.
Okay.
And that was kind of my reintroduction to football.
So how did you get involved with them? Like, did you know the coach, or was there a contact in there? How did that kind of come about?
The recruiter reached out to me. It was just a random day. My sister had actually came to me and said she had a dream that I was playing football again. And I want to say like 2 months later, they reached out to me and asked me if I still wanted to play. And I really didn't know if I did, but.
What were you doing at that point?
I was just working at the time.
Just working, yeah. Okay.
It was one of those things where I was like, well, I may not get another opportunity. I don't want to regret it.
Yeah.
So kind of take that.
What did you to go back a page? What did you go to school for? What was your major?
My double major, business and computer science.
Okay.
Oh, so he's the smarty pants. I got
Yeah,
it.
so he was the one that agreed with me that you have to plug in your computer to make sure that you have enough bandwidth.
It's killing me. Just killing me. Yes, yeah. So, but that's, I mean, obviously that's, business is something that's going to, take you well beyond football.
Definitely.
So, so the recruiter reaches out to you and, what happens from there?
He gets in contact with me, told me he liked my film, asked me why I'd been out for 2 years, kind of explained that to him, and he said, well, we have an opportunity for you to come here. You'll have to make the team, but if you want the slot, it's yours. I kind of talked it over with my family and my support system. They all told me to go for it, and kind of just never looked back.
So how'd you? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, were you in Ohio still when you were working and that kind of thing, or were?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then you went down to Arizona. So talk about that transition, going from Ohio to Arizona to play football and work and live and
Sweat.
Yeah, sweat. 300-pound man in 100-degree weather. Ta-da!
That definitely took some getting used to.
The dry heat. They say.
Yeah, the heat is not a. I'm not a friend of the heat as much, especially growing up in Ohio.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a bad transition. The guys on that team made it easy. We had a lot of good guys on that team, a lot of friends and brothers that I still talk to this day. So they kind of made it easy for me to transition and get along down there. Really, that's the only thing I had to get used to was just the heat. It's just extremely hot.
It's a good thing you play inside at that point.
So I'm going to make an assumption here. So when Coach Damon Ware called, you're excited to come back to the Northeast.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's not back to Northeast, but into the Northeast.
Theoretically. How cold was it yesterday?
Very much so excited. You always want your support system to see you play. Arizona is just way further. New York is a lot closer. And by that time, I had knowledge of who Albany was. Mm-hmm. So when I got that call, I was like, yeah, I need to.
So tell me about that. So you play for Tucson and you go through your thing. And how does Coach Ware or the coaches here get a hold of you and try to say, hey, come to Albany?
Actually, the recruiter Sean Johnson reached out to me.
Okay. Yep.
Said that he liked my film. Said that he said Albany could tune my skills to make me a better player, and that I should come here. And that was kind of how she wrote. So
let me ask you a question, because we did the opportunity knocks with the offensive line, and
yeah, let's make sure we promote that. That's on YouTube. That's on all of our socials. Yeah. Opportunity knocks is a good thing. And we're still in the process of trying to finish that off with a part 6 that we're going to call the roundtable. We're going to talk to Coach Ware, Coach Cisse, Coach Hobbs, and Coach Bowick for hopefully soon. We're getting that out to you hopefully soon. So watch out for that.
So the reason for me bringing that up is, we spent some time with Coach Bowick. Actually, I think the first day of helmets, not pads. Mm-hmm. They kind of went around the room about new guys, returning guys,
old heads. I believe he called them.
Yeah, correct. And one of the things that they went around the room and said, name something good that you had from last year, and then something that you wanted to work on. And you had mentioned your hands. Do you feel like that area of your game has improved since the first day of camp?
Oh, yes, tremendously. That's one thing that I can say about the O-line as a whole. You can go back and look at the beginning of the camp and look at us now, and we've got tremendously better. Yeah. And that's a credit to our hard work. That's a credit to Coach Bo. He's hard on us, but he makes us better every single day.
I was going to say that kind of goes into my next thing. What is it like playing for Coach Bowick? I mean, and the thing is, it's like he's a former NFL player himself. Like he's got that pedigree as a player and obviously as a coach as well. What is it like playing for him?
I love playing for Coach Bo. He's one of those coaches that he's going to be on you. He's going to work you hard. He's going to train you hard, but he also can laugh and relax a little bit as well. But when it's time to work, it's time to work.
So who leads the team? I'm assuming it's Coach Bo, but who leads the team in best motivational quotes?
Oh, Coach Bo.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah. No, he's asking good one.
So in the opportunity knocks, we had that great moment where they were trying to. Bowick said like a great quote, and then one of the other guys, like Trevon, basically said the same thing, just differently, and you guys all goofed on him. We thought that was a good part of the.
Matter of fact, I think Brandon was the one that started ribbon on the most.
Yes.
Now that I think about it.
Yes,
And,
no,
we really enjoyed that one. Obviously, offensive line is near and dear to our hearts. But
yes.
I think in general that was a good experience. I don't know if you had a chance to watch that series. This isn't shameless promotion hour, but
Oh, I'm going to shameless promote out of it.
but no, it's been good. But anyway, we were glad to be able to spend some time with you and all the guys and really put together hopefully something that people enjoyed.
And then, so last year, obviously winning the title, how fast did you say, I want to come back?
As soon as we won the title.
Yeah, 0-0-0. I'm coming back to Albany.
Yeah, I want to come back. I voiced that to Coach Ware after the championship, so I was excited he was able to bring me back.
Awesome. Yeah, I just, we finally get a chance to talk to you, and I really appreciate your time and getting to be a part of, the process for you guys, especially, being able to be on the camp and stuff like that. And yeah, I think I'm excited for the rest of the year, especially Saturday. Keep the winning streak going.
Definitely appreciate you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
All right, we will see you guys on Saturday. We're gonna have a pregame show. We will be in the atrium, so come upstairs.
Yes, please do. From what I understand, the team is setting up some chairs. We got a speaker now, so we are ready to bore you with a show.
Oh, and let's see. I got one more. Stephanie Wade actually had a great question, and I saw this earlier, but I didn't. I forgot to hit it. Is there something specific you do to prepare for game day, not just physically, but your mindset as well?
So I wouldn't say it's the day before a game, either day before or 2 days before the game. I just like to go listen to music for like an hour, do like a real deep stretch, just kind of hone in mentally on what I need to do for the game, everything that I've been doing all week in practice, and just trying to make sure that mind, body, physically, and mentally that I'm ready for the game on Saturday.
What's on the playlist?
Everything you can think of.
Give me an example.
You can go from rap all the way to reggae, all the way to pop.
My wife and I actually have a term for that. It's called polyamorous. We love all kinds of different music. Awesome. Brandon, it was nice to talk to you, man, and we're looking forward to the rest of the year, and let's get it done.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We'll see you guys on Saturday for the pregame, and then we'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.